me, Simmy, and welcome to another exciting episode of La Maison L'Oréal Paris, your one-stop for everything beauty. So if you're like me and if you enjoy binging on makeup videos, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit on the notification bell so that you are notified and updated every time we upload a new video. So it's the wedding season, and now we understand how stressful it can be for you as a bride to plan your entire wedding, especially now. So we are here to make your life teensy bit easy with an intimate wedding makeup look. And to help me out with that, I'm going to be calling Ankita Chaturvedi, who we all fondly know as Corallista. So without wasting any more time, let's get on a call with her. Hi Ankita, how's it going? Welcome back to our channel.
Hi Simmy, thanks for having me. Everything's good my end. How's it going with you?
I was thinking let's do something that you and I would wear if we were to attend a wedding, and also in the process we could probably help out all our brides to be, because I'm pretty sure all the brides out there, like some of them are actually looking to do their own makeup, so this would be like really helpful for them.
I think that's a great idea, because I've also got a lot of requests for wedding makeup, intimate wedding makeup. So I'm super excited. Should we get started?
Yeah, let's get started.
So before we start our makeup, prepping the skin is a very important step. So you want to make sure that you are cleansing, moisturizing and priming before you start with the foundation application. So we are going to now start with the foundation. I have with me here the L'Oréal Paris 24-hour matte cover foundation. Now weddings this year are an intimate affair, so we definitely want something that gives more of a natural finish, and this foundation does that. And more importantly, it's very dependable. It does not break down with heat, with sweat. It's transfer proof, and you know how it is with weddings. We are running around, we are on our feet, so we definitely need something that is not going to move. So Simmy, today I'm using a brush first. I find that I get like a really good coverage when I use a brush, but I will go over this with my beauty blender just to ensure that everything is nicely blended.
Perfect. So I have dived directly with my beauty blender. I'm just gonna push the product into my skin.
Okay, so I'm done with my foundation. Should we move on to the next step?
Yes, I'm done. Alright Ankita, now let's move on to a concealer. So I'm going to be using the L'Oréal Paris Infallible Full Wear Concealer. I'm using the shade Amber.
I'm going to be using the same shade Simmy, and today what I'm doing is, instead of using the applicator directly, I'm just going to use a small brush because I feel like I get better precision when I use a brush.
Perfect. So you know what, I'm just going to dive in directly with the wand. I'm going to first start concealing all the scars on my face, like the spots, especially around the mouth area. You have slight pigmentation usually around the chin, corners of your mouth, around your nose.
For me, the biggest area that needs a bit of concealing and brightening is the inner corner, this hollow of my eye, because I've noticed this is what makes my face look really tired if I don't do that. So I'm mostly concealing this bit first. For me, another area that I usually like to conceal a little bit is the corners of my mouth, and also just around the nose, because most of us tend to have either a little bit of pigmentation or a bit of redness around the nose.
So Ankita, I'm done with concealing. Let's move on to contouring now.
I'll just take one more second, just making sure everything is nicely blended. Okay, yes, let's move on to the next step.
So moving on to contouring, now I'm going to be using a darker shade of foundation to sort of contour my face with, because I feel like it blends seamlessly into your skin and gives you a nice dewy finish, more natural looking finish, and also it lasts all day long. So I'm going to be using a darker shade of foundation, which is just like about 2 shades darker than my skin, and I'm going to be contouring it around the areas of like the hollow part of my face, like around my cheek area, temples, jawline and my nose.
Okay, I'm going to be targeting the same areas as well.
Okay, so I'm basically using my fingers to just apply the product where I want it, and then I'm going to blend it out with my blender.
So I used a brush to first lay down the product in the exact area where I wanted, And now I'm just going over it with my blender just to make sure it's nicely blended.
Also, I feel like when you use a darker shade of foundation to sort of contour your face with, it looks, somehow it looks a bit more seamless, you know?
Yeah, it definitely looks a lot more natural, but it still gives you that chiseled look that you want. And in the end, once you're done with your highlighting and contouring, you just want to make sure everything is nicely blended. So what I like to do is I'll just take my blender and gently tap it all over just to make sure that there are no harsh lines. Okay, the next step is powder. I have with me here the L'Oréal Paris Infallible Pro Matte Pressed Powder, and it's very important to set your makeup with the powder if you want it to last long and you don't want any greasiness to show in photographs.
Yes, so I'm just gonna take a little bit of it on a dense powder brush, dust off the excess and start tapping it under my eye.
So what I like to do is, again, I'm taking a small fluffy brush and I only set like the center of my face because I've got combination skin, so I don't really get any oiliness in my cheek area, so I only set my T-zone and that usually works for me.
And with that, Ankita, I'm actually done with the powder. Let's move on.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so now Ankita, since it's like an intimate wedding makeup look, I'm not going to be doing like very thick and very like defined brows. In fact, I think we would all prefer like softer brows, more natural, and you know, something which is more on the natural side. So for that, I'm going to be using the L'Oréal Paris Brow Artist Expert to start off with my eyes.
I really like how this is so easy to apply. I love the triangular tip, and what I generally do is I just fill my arch. I don't really touch the beginning or the end very much. And with that, my brows are done. What about you, Simmy?
I am done too.
Okay, should we move on to the next step?
Yes.
Okay, so let's move on to eyeshadow. I have with me here the L'Oréal Paris La Petite palette in Maximalist. So today I'm going to go in a nice defined way, not making it too bold but not too nude either.
And I'm going to do just the opposite of what you're doing. I'm going to go really bold and use the bottom 3 shades to sort of like get that nice smokiness to my eyes.
So I'm going to be mixing this rust shade and this dark greyish brown, and I'm just going to give a nice definition to the outer corner of my eye.
So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to start with the grey shade right here, the bottom one, and I'm going to mix it with the plum shade that we have here, and I'm going to start from the outer corners of my eyes.
So after defining this outer 1/3, I'm moving my brush up into the crease just to give a little depth to my crease and some dimension to my eyes. I'm also going to take those same colors along my lower lash line just to give a nice definition to my eyes. I'm then going to take the lightest color, this nice shimmery gold, and I'm going to place it on my lid.
And I'm going to go back into the palette and get a bit more of the plum shade on a smaller brush, and I'm going to use this to like sort of smoke out my lower lash line. And I'm going to just keep it to the outer corners. I'm not going to take it inwards, just on the outer corners, and that's about it.
I'm also taking that gold in my lower lash line, but I'm just placing it in the center, not covering the entire lower lash line. Okay, now moving on to the next step, we are going to give more definition to our eyes with liner. I'm using the L'Oréal Paris Super Liner Gel Intensa, and I've got an angled brush with me to apply the liner.
I'm actually just going to keep the liner to my outer corner. I'm not going to connect it with my inner corner. That just sort of helps in elongating my eyes a little bit more, you know?
Yeah.
And it's really soft anyway, because the shades that I've used are like really dark, so I want to keep it a bit subtle with the liner. And then I'm going to just like sort of merge the liner with the eyeshadow. so it looks very, it has that ombre gradient sort of an effect.
I'm just doing a really simple liner with just a super tiny wing on the outside, nothing too dramatic because I want the focus to be on the lips.
Okay, so I'm going to move on to my other eye. Again, I'm going to start from the outer corner, create a very thin line, and then just blend that in. And now to finish off with our eye makeup, I'm going to be using the L'Oréal Paris Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara. And I love this mascara because of so many reasons. Like, first of all, it gives you length, volume.
I love that it's completely waterproof, doesn't come off with sweat, with heat. And you know, it's a wedding, so there might be some stray tears, and it's going to hold up well in spite of all of these things. And I love the hourglass shape of the wand because it catches and distributes the formula really evenly throughout the lashes, and you can see the massive difference just one coat has made, not only to my top lashes but also to my bottom lashes. I'm now going to continue on and do the other eye. Next we are going to do lips. Now usually we do our blush, our highlighter, and we do the lips in the end. But when you're working with darker colors, bold colors, it makes sense to do the lips first, so you can then actually understand and see how much blush you really need to tie the whole look together. I have with me here the L'Oréal Paris Rouge Signature Matte Liquid Lipstick. I'm actually going to be mixing these two colors today. I've got this red called I Am Worth It and this dark plum color called I Play. What about you, Simmy?
I'm actually mixing two shades right here. So I have 116 I Explore and 121 I Choose, because I didn't want my lips to be entirely brown or pink, so I wanted to be like somewhere in the middle, nude but still like a soft pink with an undertone of brown, and hence I decided to mix both these shades.
And because this is a liquid formula, it mixes really well, and this way you can create your own custom colors. So I'm just going to take it on a small brush.
So I'm going to start with I Explore as my base lipstick, and then I'm going to apply the other one on top of that and dab it together. Now this is going to be a really nice shade range for all the brides out there, because you know, it gives you a really soft finish and it's very lightweight. At the same time, it lasts all day, so you don't really have to worry about touching up on your lipstick. Okay, so moving on, Ankita, I'm going to be using the L'Oréal Paris La Barre blush in the shade Play With Me. It's a very nice corally pastel sort of a color.
I'm using the shade Be Fierce, and it's a slightly darker color, but just the way that I apply it, I'm going to not apply too much because I've already got a bold lip on, but just a very soft faded color just to tie the entire look. I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush, start from the center of the cheek and just blending upwards towards the temples. And you also want to make sure that your blush is seamlessly blended into the contour that we had done earlier.
So for those of you who are attending weddings and if you want to check out a day to night makeup look, then click on this link right here and check it out. And meanwhile, Ankita, let's move on to the next step.
So now moving on to the next step, we are going to use highlighter. I've got here with me the L'Oréal Paris La Barre blush highlighter, and I think I speak for the both of us. We both love this highlighter, and in general, highlighting our faces, and a wedding definitely is an occasion where you want your skin to glow, and this highlighter will give you exactly that. So I'm just placing the highlighter on my cheekbone first, moving slightly upwards towards the temple, also using just a tiny bit on my brow bone, a little bit on the nose, a little bit on the tip, and then along the bridge of the nose. So with that, we finished with the highlighter. So what's the next step, Simmy?
Next step obviously is to set all of this in place so that your makeup does not budge, does not move. So a setting spray is a must. So I'm going to be using the L'Oréal Paris Infallible Pro Spray in Stretch. This is just going to ensure that our makeup lasts through the day. and you guys can go ahead and be generous with it because the mist is actually super fine, so you don't really feel it too much on your skin, and whatever little is there is also just going to dry down in like about a minute.
So just need one last finishing touch. I'm just going to add my bindi, and that is the finished look.
I love how gorgeous the looks turned out. In fact, not just for brides, even if you're just simply attending a wedding or any wedding function, I think every girl can actually literally pull this off with ease. Even your look and mine, so you can actually switch it up according to your outfit, according to your preferences. Like you could go for bolder eyes and softer lips, or you could go for like softer eyes and bolder lips. What do you think, Ankita?
Absolutely, like I love this look, and I like how we have used a similar set of products, but once again we've created two completely different looks. I'm definitely going to try this out the next time I have a wedding invitation.
Perfect. So thank you so much for joining us, Ankita, and yeah, we should do this again soon.
It's been super fun. Thank you so much, Simmy. Take care. Bye.
So that is it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the look that we've created. I hope we made your wedding planning a bit easier with this look. Let us know what kind of makeup look you prefer when you have any wedding function to attend. I would love to know that. And as usual, all of the products that we've used are mentioned in the description box below, so do check them out. And before you leave, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit on the notification bell so that you are notified and updated every time we upload a new video on La Maison L'Oréal Paris. And that's it. Signing off for now. I'll see you next time. Bye.